Welcome to Industry Insights. Today I'm talking to Hans-Dieter Philipowski, President of ENFIT International Association of Supply Chain Safety. Hello and welcome to this month's episode of Industry Insight. Today we have a very important topic to talk about. It's food fraud. It concerns us all, and I have a great interview partner here with me today. It's Hans-Dieter Philipowski, President of ENFIT, who has a lot of insight and knowledge to share with us. So welcome, Hans-Dieter, and since people know you already, let's just jump into the topic and get started.
Yes, good morning, Stephanie. Nice to meet you here. Best regards from Brussels with a sunny day. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about food fraud and all the other things they are around of this area. And I'm interested to hear your position at first.
Well, my position, I would say, is the same as with everyone else. We want to protect the consumers. And there are so many, unfortunately, so many options and possibilities out there to contaminate food, put foreign material in it. And it's just, as we see from current happenings these days, like Nord Stream 1 and 2, so there are so many things these days that can affect the quality and safety of food. And so what we really need to do is raise the awareness of that and also try to do whatever we can to prevent that from happening. And I think you have some great solutions and ideas to do exactly that.
Yes, that's right. Of course, we are talking about food fraud, food defense, in all this question about transport of food and feed and chemicals also is all the same topics. About these actions, what we have seen about Nord Stream 1 and 2, and this actual action in Germany with the Deutsche Bahn. Somebody cuts the glass fiber lines for the communication and so on. We see that the critical infrastructure can be attacked. We are in a conflict worldwide with different countries, and everybody knows all these topics. And what does it mean? Of course, I think it shows us that maybe the things what we think yesterday it cannot be, today we must accept that it can be. And that it can be, it means that from our point of view, when we are talking about transport of food or raw materials for food production, that there's a big gaps or big black holes in the supply chain, in the structure of safety. And that is what I'm interested in, to discuss it with you and to talk about different opinions and experience about that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so important. There are so many things that we have not been aware of simply these days. And every day, more or less, we learn about more possibilities how to contaminate food. And that's dangerous, of course, and it's challenging. And we just need to find solutions to prevent that from happening. Of course, since we're not really criminal minds, we don't know all the ideas and thoughts, and we don't know what's around the next corner. So we need to think ahead, we need to be prepared, and we just need to do what's best at this point and to prevent those things. So do you have any solutions that you can share with us to specifically regarding the food transportation, raw material, pet food, human food? I mean, it's all out there and it concerns all of us. So this is so important to start right there at the transportation, because I would say that is the place where these things can happen very easily, because there aren't any armies following food trucks to protect food. So what can we do?
Yes, I think we make a lot of, in our association work, we have a lot of experience with cleaning stations and the transport of raw materials and food materials in unpacked situation in tank containers, road tankers, silo trucks, IBCs. And what we see is that in the factories, there are often is implemented a very good food defense system. Of course, they check everybody who's jump into the factories. They have to announce what is the person, what is the name, what is the company, everything. there is a special sticker for guests so that everybody can see that it's a guest and it's a foreign guy from outside, maybe coming into the factory by business reasons. But everybody can see this is not one of our employees, that is some who is coming from outside. And IFS, BRC, FSS 22000, they are often dealing in their systems about with food defense. But what we see when we are looking outside about the transportation of raw materials, it's very, I don't know, it's to say, I think it's a disaster. Of course, we see that this transport unit has to be protected against manipulation. You must know, of course, it's not possible to protect the transport unit directly against sabotage. That is impossible. If you will open a transport unit, a road tank or something, it's always possible to do it. You can cover it with an iron lock or something like this, and you can also open it or drill a hole into the tank, whatever. There's a lot of possibilities. But the system, what is used outside in this way of the transportation, is that we are look to close all the openings of a transport unit. Maybe, for example, the manholes. The sensitive part in the transport line, in transportation, raw materials and food or animal feed in road tankers, tank containers, IBCs or silos is always the openings. Of course, a trailer is not going directly from the loading side to the unloading side. Of course, there's a driver on this truck who's moving forward the trailer, and maybe he has to do a rest on the highway, on the street, everywhere. Of course, he has to look to make his pause and to make the rest. That always these trailers and tankers are on parking slots and waiting, and they are not protected by something. The reason for that, how to protect it, is to work with something like this. You maybe have seen it. It's plastic seals, and these plastic seals are connected by the openings of a road tanker. So it's possible. So if you maybe have an opening, a manhole, you can move through here these plastic seals, and then you can close it and you can switch it together. So in one way, oh, sorry, it's impossible now to open it and to bring it away. If somebody who looks now to make a sabotage or something, then he has to remove these seals, maybe have to cut it, and then he can open this flap again, this covering again. But what we see in reality is there's a lot of mistakes. Often you will find the situation that there are protecting the seals to protect the openings. They make a big hole, and this big hole makes possible that you can open these openings maybe some centimeters, and then you can also bring something in, maybe microorganism, dirt, foreign bodies, whatever. And that is very dangerous. Of course, when we talk to drivers and ask them why this big loop here, they told us it's easier for them after, when they will remove it away, maybe for the unloading, it's easier for them to break this seal and to bring it then to the person who should control it.
Yeah.
And that is points what we see in reality, and that must be changed. Very important to change.
Yeah, I think seals are the most important thing. I mean, as we all see when driving on the highways, some manholes or other openings are not even sealed, or you can already tell by just passing by that they are rather loosely sealed, as you said about with this hole. And I think it was your article where I read that some of the drivers have kind of like substitute seals with them right next to them in their driver's seat, so that whenever one is missing and they get to the next point where they are supposed to be unloading and people at that station check whether they have the right amount of seals. They just stop outside of this location and put on their substitute seals because they know some are missing. And of course, that is just a huge mess. This doesn't make any sense at all, and this just undermines the whole purpose of a seal. If you go ahead and remove them or add them on, to your preference. So that doesn't make any sense at all, and that does not. That's
Yeah.
not the main purpose of a seal.
There's a lot of misunderstandings about that. What does it mean, food defense? Yeah, the people think, okay, you put something around and then it looks nice and everybody is happy. But when I'm looking on the parking slots, I'm often think, okay, if I come with other interests, not good interest, it's so easy for me to do a manipulation and nobody will keep it. There's 2 points to know. Of course, when is a road tanker to seal, or what is the part where it should be sealed? The main part is after the loading of a raw material, maybe when the road tanker is filled up with liquid chocolate, and then the producer has to close all the openings and then sealed all the openings in a good way, so that it's not possible to open the manhole a little bit and to move other things inside. That is a very important point. Then the driver enters to the unloading site, and the unloading site now should check the seals, how many seals, the identification of these seals. Of course, seals normally have, maybe you can see it here, a number on it. And this number, for example, is 001006, and the next is 001007. And these numbers are very critical, of course. Why? The people, they add on the seals, have at first to look at these numbers, to read it, to understand it, and then to fix it to the next paper, maybe the transport papers, of course, on the way from the loader to the unloader, And you can imagine when you have maybe a truck with 30 or 35 seals, how difficult it can be to transfer these numbers by reading, understanding, and writing. And so you will find on these papers sometimes often very funny information about the seals. Often they do it in that way. They say, okay, I enter in the first number, and then I enter in the last number, whatever the last number is, and then that's it. And then the people starts to calculate how many seals are on this truck. Maybe end number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or maybe later you are at 35. You can understand that this manual doing, reading, understanding, writing is critical part also.
Exactly, So, and then you also have language challenges, and you can have typos whenever you write things down. So it is most important, and things coming back to digitalization all over the place. So that is one of the most important things as well. It makes everyone's lives easier. If you have like a QR code that you can scan, that helps people understand. You don't have to communicate. You don't have to find a common language that where you can understand each other. You just use your phone, scan the QR code, and you know the amount of seals, you know the number, you know if they're all there, if they have been opened or replaced. And that is, I think, in regards to food fraud, that is so important to use the possibilities that are out there already on the market. Just go ahead, do some research, and find out the best solution for you. It can make everyone's life so much easier and protect consumers. And if you find that there are some challenges, or some numbers aren't right, or if something's suspicious is going on, you want to make sure, again, using digital tools to really communicate that very fast and efficient, best in a standardized way, so that consumers, again, are protected, because that's what we're all aiming for. That's what is our common goal to protect consumers globally, because we're all consumers. And actually, yeah, time's up. I'm looking at the watch right now, and I think that really covers it all. Be prepared. Know the seals. Know the transport. Know what's going on. Use the tools that are out there. Use digitalization to your advantage. Have an open mind and try to plan ahead, look ahead, and figure out what could have gone wrong, and check. Better check once too often than to have contaminated food. And if you have something suspicious that you can detect, make sure to really communicate that fast and accurate to protect consumers worldwide.
That is very important, Stephanie, of course. That is that what we are missing in the system. Of course, you will find also loaders. They have a scanner, or sometimes cleaning stations, they use a scanner. But what does it make sense when you scan maybe for yourself these numbers, but the receiver of the goods cannot scan it by the same system? Of course, everybody has different scanners, different types of that. That is one thing that we are developed a solution for, that the people can share it on a platform directly. The seals, what is added on the loading side, and the receiver can check it directly, scanning by the smartphone with this QR code, and that makes it easier that the people can scan it for these with this platform, with this blockchain system, so that everything is fine. Often, and you said about or told about this story about the drivers enters maybe after the unloading, then to the cleaning station. You see it, the driver enters the check-in counter and says, yes, I need 35 seals, and the cleaning stations hand out 35 seals as he want. Of course, he's the client, and nobody checked, does he need 35 seals, or maybe only 30 or 20, or I don't know. And that is that what you say, that there are some extra seals on the driver's seat, or not on the driver's seat, on the passenger seat. And maybe in a case, maybe later they missed a seal, then they can adjust it and make another seals on that. Why? The reason is, when after the cleaning, maybe to the next loader and then transported a good, and then there is one seal missed, then the receiver will say, I can't accept this product. Of course, it can be manipulated. Maybe the driver tells them something about, they are making a mistake, and that is the reason that maybe one seal missed. But under the aspect of food defense, nobody can trust that. Of course, it can be shows that there has been manipulation or not an exact work. So for the receiver, it's very important to say, stop it, I can't take this product. And for example, if you have maybe a liquid chocolate, it can be that these transport, these raw material cost 50,000 euros, and nobody is interested to put these into the waste, or to maybe to work with the assurance about this case. And that is that what is also an open door for all these, I say some ways here around the corner, left and right, to find a way to handle it, but not in a correct way. And that is an open door for all possibilities of an attack or sabotage on that. And that can have a big result for us, a negative result for us, and that we should make sure that everything is fine. What we have decided is, it's needed to make sure where are the critical points. The next point is how to handle this system. The next point is to do it digital on a platform that the people, the stakeholders can change the information. And on the other hand, to make an exactly plan who has to do what in which responsibility. And that is often missed and unclear. And for that, we should try to work on it to make this more well-known. So give the stakeholders the possibilities to protect their products, their transport systems, and also their employees against any later claims and other problems. That is very important.
Very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you lose trust in your brand, that's the most terrible thing, next to harming consumers, of course. But for your own sake and for your company's sake, you don't want to lose the trust. And you're absolutely right. I would say, as a really short summary, global supply chains ask for global solutions, and it does not make sense to have an in-house solution where only you and your employees can work with. You have to cover your whole supply chain because you want to be sure to protect consumers everywhere. And I think that is a good closing sentence.
Yes.
And so thank you very much, Hans-Dieter, for your insight. Sharing that with the audience has been very beneficial. And hopefully, so whoever has questions, please reach out to Hans-Dieter. His email address is on the cover page of this interview, as always. But I'm sure most of you are connected with him anyway, so that's an easy thing for you to do. And thank you very much for your time. It's been great talking to you again, and I'm looking forward to the next interview we will be doing. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yes, thank you very, Stephanie. And to all the audience, of course, on 8th of November, we have a special webinar for this cast. And if somebody's interested, he can send also an email to me. And so to be part of this webinar, there we go deeply into all the details about who's responsible, how should it done, and so on, who should be checked, and how can it checked. And so we will invite all the interested audience to move on and to be part of the webinar. Thank you very much, Stephanie. It was a great pleasure for me to discuss this very important topic. And I wish you a good day and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Same to you. Bye. This has been today's episode of Industry Insights with my guest, Hans-Dieter Philipowski. Thanks for your attention and see you again soon. Bye.